Hello. Hi. I always have to mute the same chat every time I come on here. All right, let me come find you guys. Where are you at? The surprise is here. I'm ready to announce. Hey, Susan. Good, you got my message. I remembered to tell you this time. I'm all very excited with myself that I remembered. Hi, guys. Say hello in the comments so I can see who's here. Susan, will you drop the link to this live in the chat where the people drop the emoji for me? Hi, hey Paul, hey Carolyn. Hi guys, hey Jonah. Okay, so Susan is gonna drop the link in the, hey Crystal. Oh my God, all my favorite people on here. Susan is gonna drop the link in the chat while we're doing this. Let me share this to the other group. I have been percolating this for so long for you guys. This has just been, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like tea just sitting there saturating. Hey, how are you? Okay, no, today is my daughter's 9th birthday. Craig's out with her right now. They're running some errands, returning some shoes that she got. So I'm hopping on here to announce this to you guys. Hey, Catherine. That's exactly how I spell my middle name. Okay, so here's the truth. There's so many things I want to tell you guys, and I was like, I don't know what to tell them. I don't know what I should tell them today. Like my diamond girls, all the girls in my diamond mastermind, like of course they get like the nitty-gritty details, and I just like downloaded everything that's been going on in the last month for them. But there's parts of that I really feel like you guys should know, and I don't really know what's going to come out of my mouth. I'm not going to lie. I didn't make a decision before I hopped on the live. It is what it is. It's my daughter's birthday, and this is the timing, and I was like, yeah, I don't really... I put salty stuff in my hair and now it looks all crazy. I don't know what's about to come out of my mouth, but this is what I do know. What I do know is you can go too far sometimes with things, right? So let me at least start with sharing that with you guys. Okay. Track with me for a second, because I'm going to tell you this announcement and I want you to understand the epicness of it, okay? Like this gift that I'm giving away. Oh, I'll tell her you said happy birthday, Crystal. She'll be excited to hear that you said that. Okay. In my business, I have really embraced like completely full-blown taking care of myself, as you know. I've really embraced luxury, all the things that I would need to truly feel like I'm thriving or I'm happy or I have like the dream like the dream life, right? The life when I wake up and I'm excited to have my life. I've really full-blown thrown myself into that now. What you may or may not know, depending on how well you know me, is that was actually incredibly hard for me. I'm an overgiver. I rescue people. I tend to overgive and rescue. Yeah, it would be overgiving and rescuing. So actually transitioning out of overgiving and rescuing and into full-blown taking care of myself any way that my soul feels like any little thing that feels like I need that, or I need to stop here, or I need to say no to that, or I need to set a boundary here. I have fully gone into that process. Hey, Liana, right? So I've fully gone into that process. Now, that has been incredible. It has healed me tremendously. I've done tons of training teaching other people how to do the same thing because it's changed my entire life. I mean, like I went from a person who was mostly depressed all the time, incredibly poor, just really overgiving, burnt out, overwhelmed. I was sad a lot, right? Like I felt like everyone around me was suffering. The people I love were suffering, and it was like my job to rescue them and save them, and I didn't know how to. And then when I started making money, I felt like it was supposed to fix everything magically. Like, oh, look, I made what, 400K, 380K, I think my very first year in business. And I was like, I went from a welfare mom to 380K that first year. And I thought, well, because I always thought the reason we're all suffering is because we don't have money, because we're all poor. So I thought for sure when I made money, it was magically like I was just supposed to fix everybody's lives. I was supposed to heal all their lives. Like I was supposed to fix everything, send this person to rehab and pay for this person's broken whatever and help this person with that bill. And like just the money would fix everything. And then I had a real shock when I realized like, oh, the money didn't fix anything. People were getting what they wanted already, right? So then that led me into really releasing all the people that I thought I was supposed to save like I was some kind of superhero, which is quite ridiculous looking back at it, but that's how it felt at the time. I mean, that is a complex that we get into, that we feel like it's our job to save people or to rescue people, which is really kind of silly. It's kind of conceited and arrogant and ridiculous, but it is how we feel, and we can be raised to believe that way. Okay, so then I went full blown, now track with me for a second, just listen to this for a second, okay? So then I went full blown into self-care. Like, nobody gets anything from me unless it's coming from a state of overflow, which is how I still currently live. And I still actually understand and know that that's actually healthy now. It just required me to really break through a lot of limiting beliefs and stories and stuck on things that didn't belong to me. All of which, well, okay, I'll tell you about that after. All of which I'm gonna help you guys with, okay? However, as I went into that, I just stayed in it and stayed in it. I fully gave myself over to that process. I mean, all the way to the point of like Chanel bags and first class tickets and VIP type of stuff, right? Now, what I realized, which was a little bit discombobulating, was I went to my threshold and then I stepped over it, which I'm proud of, right? Because how else are you gonna learn how far to go with things until you go too far and you're like, oh, there's the line, take a step back. Now I'm at my maximum capacity for this. So what I learned was that there is a absolute massive need for people to learn to be fucking happy. Like, to thrive and be happy, and all of the crap that we need to work through to get to the place where we're just happy. Like, are you happy? Are you waking up? Are you lit up about the day? Are you feeling in a sense of creativity and flow, and you're excited and you're lit up about what you have to do, and you feel a clarity and a consistency with what your purpose is in this life and what you're meant to do? And like, when I'm 95 and I'm looking back, the impact that I had on the world, do I know what that is? Am I living in integrity with creating that impact in the world? And did I become the person it took to create that impact in the world, right? That requires a lot of thriving. That requires living in a state of like, I'm in a state of overflow, not a state of overgiving, a state of overflow, which means that you need to know what you want, what makes you happy, what makes your soul full, right? It's like I'm constantly telling my clients, when you're hungry, what do? I'm freaking hungry, my belly's empty, I go to the kitchen and I make a sandwich and I eat, right? But when your soul is starving, what do? You usually go to the kitchen and make a freaking sandwich and eat. Wrong medicine. That is the wrong medicine. Your soul and your body are trying to prompt you for you to understand the things that will make you happy, right? Now, I went a little bit too far, recognized like, this doesn't actually feel good. And then I recognized, oh yeah, this was needed. There was a period of me needing to go fully into that, and I 100% honor that journey, and I'm so proud of myself, and I've reached that line, and I'm really, really excited about this, because what that means was like, okay, I'm taking one step back, and I'm remembering what really matters to me. Now that I've healed that part of me, now it's like I've matured into this woman who can go back to giving in such an epic way like I used to, because I trust myself not to rescue people and save people anymore. I'm coming from such an empowered place of calling you to this rather than doing any work to rescue or save people, or like just start paying people shit for them, or taking on their problems. Like, they tell me a problem and I instantly go into like fix it mode and I try to solve all their problems for them, or whatever that mayhem was that I did for so long. I mean, that was just basically how I lived my life. So now that leads us to this. So I've overstepped. I realized, yes, giving to myself is really, it was a needed journey. It's a needed journey from so many people. Like, it's just part of the growing process. And it's about being patient enough to, like, I had to be patient enough to give to myself until I felt an exhale and I felt like that's done now. And I'll continue at this place right before that line that I just found. I just found the line. Like, now there's no place that, when I used to go, I told this to the Diamond Girls today, like, let's say I went into a boutique, like a really nice boutique. I would have felt like the fat welfare girl walking into a boutique. Like, I didn't belong there. Like, someone was gonna laugh at me. If I bought a first class ticket on a flight, I was like nervous, like, to get in a line. And like, usually it only takes one experience and it's shifted, it's done, right? Or like, let's say the lounges, like I have an Amex business card and they have lounges that are just for Amex people and there's rules around it. I would feel so intimidated and anxious. Like, I was like, they were gonna be like, what are you doing here? Like, I just had this image in my head of like everybody laughing at me and being like, oh, there's the fat welfare girl. There's just what it was there, right? So like, after I got through all those experiences and I realized there's really nothing left. There's nothing left that I feel uncomfortable around. Like, I've really truly healed that part of me and I've outgrown it. And now as I kept going, I was like, now it doesn't feel good anymore. And that was it. No rules, no nothing, no like person reflected something back to me. I just didn't feel good anymore. It just didn't feel good to go further than that. So I've like had this dark night of the soul, or whatever you call it, for the month of February, fucking weirdest month of my life. And I'm super grateful for it. And what I realized was I want to get back to serving and giving from this new empowered place of feeling worthy of anything, worthy of receiving or being in, and like, there's no situation or circumstance where, I mean, of course I'm going to feel uncomfortable. I'm an introvert, but I don't feel unworthy. I don't feel like the welfare girl, the fat welfare girl. Like, that was the image in my head, was like this white, trashy, fat welfare girl. Like, and I feel like I've healed her and I've released her. Finally, I don't need her anymore, which is really exciting. So in honor of embracing this new place that I find myself in, which I'm really fucking excited to be in, I was like, I'm giving a gift away. What can I do? I've been known to give away retreats. I've given away one to Maui, or a couple to Bali. I've given away entire programs. I've given scholarships away. I mean, it really just, honestly, it's selfless and it's very selfish. I mean, it just feels empowered and awesome to have been patient enough to do the work for me to be at a healthy place where now I can start giving back. That was actually that was my point before that I forgot to say all the way. It does require patience for you to be patient enough to put yourself in, when you're giving from a state of like exhaustion or a state of broke, it's not actually supportive to the universe. It's not empowered, and it doesn't help anyone, because you can't keep that up. You need to be selfish and disciplined and mature enough to be patient to get yourself to a place where you're thriving and you're in a state of overflow, and give from the overflow. So now I know how to just live in a state of overflow consistently, and now I have so much more to give. So I was like, what do I do? What should I do? The retreats are now really reserved for my Diamond Mastermind only, although I do have an idea that I'm probably going to have a live event that's really, really cheap, like probably like something like $297, and you get to come to the live event for like 3 days or something like that, and it'll be like a once a year type event. So I'm excited about that. That's been percolating a little bit. And what I've decided to do in honor of me taking a step back and really just saturated giving to my community, I was thinking about like, what's the one thing that like, when I'm 95 and I look back at life, all I want to know, like I could almost cry saying this because it's everything to me, right? All I want to know is I was a good mom. I did the best I could with my kids, and I used every gift, and like I have this discipline to absorb information, and I can break it down into like the simplest steps for you to just like these crazy concept, or the things you've heard a million times and like, but you don't hear it. But then when I say it to you, you can hear it because I know how to say it to you so that you'll listen to me. Like I will say, just listen to me for a second. I need you to hear this. I know you've heard it a million times, but are you implementing this? Listen to what I'm actually saying. This is what it feels like. This is what it would look like if you're doing it, right? So it's just a gift that I have, and I recognize that about myself. So what I want to know is when I'm 95, looking back at my life, the impact I want to have is I used these gifts that I have. I used the skills and the discipline that I've honed over 10 years of college trying to work through my ADHD and all this kind of stuff. I used it to help people. I want to know that I was good. I was a good person by my standards, not by some arbitrary standards, religious standards, whatever, by my standards on what feels an integrity for me, that I was a good person. And I really literally used my gifts to heal people, to heal lives, to transform lives, and to bring wealth to people. For people to understand that abundance is infinite. There's no, you don't have to earn abundance. You just choose it. You don't have to earn worthiness. You were born worthy. You are intrinsically worthy. It's all the stuff that got stuck on you that stops you from understanding that. And so you block it, right? Like you get stuck in patterns of fear or worry or what ifs, or I'm going to be the fat girl and they're going to laugh at me. So you don't just step into it. Now we learn to actually get off of that trauma state where we're focused on the what if and the fears, and what if I invest in this and I don't make my money back? Or what if I say no to this person and then I'm alone for the rest of my life? What if I leave this relationship and then I'm alone for the rest of my life? What if I enter into this group and I don't fit in and I don't belong and I'm the weird one? Whenever we're up leveling, we think I'm going to be the fucked up one in this group. Like I don't want to be there. I want to be the normal one or the good one or the big fish, right? Like it's all these patterns. This is all, it's all based and stemmed in trauma and shitty beliefs that were put on you and other people's limitations that were put on you and stories that just got ingrained about who we are and what the world is and what things mean. And that's the work for us to work through because it's available for you, right? So part of it is I want to go to the grave knowing I used my gifts for good. I mean, the most good that I could possibly do. I loved my tribe. I loved my audience. I honed my skills as a coach. I honed my skills as a teacher and a leader. And I truly led from an empowered place. And I gave. I gave until it almost hurt. Not quite hurt. You hear that phrase, I gave till it hurt? No. We're not giving till it hurts because we're always in a state of overflow, but we're giving right up until that line, and I'll probably overstep that line. I'll probably end up rescuing or overgiving somewhat, and then I'll learn what that line is. I've learned the other one, now I'm going to learn this one again from this empowered place, right? And I want to know that especially with women, I'm not going to lie to you, it's especially on my heart with women, but for sure with men that show up and are willing to do this work, it's an absolute honor. But deep in my heart, I want to know that I helped women to learn wealth and to learn empowerment and to learn what it means to live a life in a state of overflow and happiness, and to know that you can actually be happy, you can actually enjoy your life and have an epic life and be wealthy and still be a good friggin' person. It doesn't make you a bad person. If anything, it only seasons you and makes you a better person. It just requires that. Look, that's a perfect excuse to not step in and do the work. Like, oh, I'm afraid I'll be a bad person if I'm a millionaire. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like an excuse to me. It's one I use too. It was the perfect excuse. Like, see, it makes me feel good because I don't want to be a bad person. No, it doesn't make you good. It makes you a chicken shit. It makes you in fear. It makes you stuck in fear. You're just a person stuck in fear. That's all that makes you. It's not noble, right? It's not noble for us to play small. It's really not. It's just not. And we know that. You know that. I don't need to tell you. Okay, so thank you, Taylor. Okay, so in honor of me going too far, taking a step back, reorganizing my priorities from this new empowered place, I have decided that when I'm 95, the only thing I give a motherfuck about is, was I a good mom, was I a good friend, sister, daughter, and was I a good woman according to my standards, and did I support the world in breaking through their limiting patterns around wealth and around being happy. So I created this very high-end program, Happy and Wealthy, and it's a high-end program. The price is $3,333, and what I've decided to do is basically give the program away. You can get in right now for, I think the lowest payment option is $188 for a 30-day, every single day. I literally sat down for hours and I broke down from the moment I started this journey until now, what were all the massive breakthroughs that I had? What were the things I realized? What were the things that I struggled with? And what did I learn from? I've invested over, well, last year it was $250,000. I've invested $500,000 in mentorship at this point. Oh yeah, well over that, right? And so I was investing in these high level mentorships and I was learning this stuff and I was breaking through these things and I was pushing through. And as I did that, right, I sat down and I wrote down every single one of those moments in my journeys and the things, I labeled it what I know. This is what I know. And I just wrote down everything that I know, that I've learned from the transformation, from the mentorships that I've engaged in, from the struggles, the things that were hard, the things I came up against. I mean, here's an example. An example was when I started traveling a lot, right? I felt like a terrible mother when I was traveling a lot. I felt like you're not allowed to leave your kids, and like in very poor families, time spent is all you really have, right? So like traveling around the world is not something anybody taught me. Like, how do you be a good mom and travel the world? I had this real deep ingrained belief that you cannot be a good mother and a millionaire. Like, there's no way those millionaires are good moms. And I literally said that out loud to millionaire mothers. Like, I had these conversations. So I'm going to take everything that I learned, the most powerful shifts that I had, and I'm going to show up with those every day for 30 days in my energy. Let's be real. The biggest thing I bring to the table is my energy. So I'm going to hold you in my fucking energy for 30 days, and we're just going to work these things out. And what happens is, for anyone who's done like my 5-day, 7-day, 10-day programs, it's like like when we show up daily like this. I've done 5-day programs where like the days are spread out because we do a lot of work. This is more, I'm saturating you in my energy, and it's a place for you to stumble through all of these concepts and these beliefs that are stopping you from being in the state of believing that you deserve what's in front of you, for believing that you deserve to be happy, that you deserve to be in a state of overflow, that you deserve to have wealth. Because until you actually believe that, until you believe that you're worthy to have these things, until you heal through the processes, until you release the stories that you have of your limitations and your lack of worth, and until you actually put yourself in experiences, you are not going to be open to receiving it, and then you won't. And you'll wonder why, and you'll keep looking at, oh, I'm going to take this free webinar, I'm going to do this thing, and I'm going to hire this person, and I'm going to keep learning how, and I'm going to keep implementing these things, and I'm going to frantically try all these different things, and I have one breakthrough, and then, oh, what the heck, why is this so hard? And you're just going to keep going, and it's going to feel like striving, and it's going to feel like you're struggling for the next client, and you're struggling to figure this out, and you don't really know what your voice is, and I don't know if I'm leaving my impact, and how come I keep binge eating, or how come I keep over drinking, or how come I keep whatever the behaviors are, I keep numbing out on Netflix, and like, why can't I get more consistent, and why am I not just more disciplined? And this is why you haven't you haven't challenged these things. You were taught these things when you were what, 8, 6, 12, 20, I don't know. And they've not been challenged. You've not challenged these things, okay? So what I basically did is took all of everything that I've learned through this process and everything that I've learned coaching thousands of clients in my live event and retreats. I mean, everything comes up in these live events, right? Working with one-on-one with clients in groups, like just hearing everything that's going on. I took all my wisdom and I saturated it down for these 30 days. Now, I did scan it to make sure I'm not overwhelming people, right? I get it. And like this is, I put organization to it so that it feels like a sense of what we're doing is, it's not like, like I'm gonna overhaul my whole life. That's not what this is. This is an energetic up level. This is a physical up level. This is a belief up level. This is a how I feel up level. We're gonna up level how you feel, right? And so the whole point of this is to poke around and to start just stirring stuff up a little bit and seeing what comes up in a safe container where you have actually the rewire right there available for you. And that's what we're doing for 30 days. We're gonna rewire these neural pathways in your brain. We're gonna settle into these new beliefs and we're gonna start challenging some stuff. And look, it's not gonna be all over in 30 days, but this is one hell of a boost. This is one hell of a boost. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is one hell of a fucking jump start. This will get you launched and you're gonna know. You're gonna have clarity on what's next because we're settling these patterns down and we're staying in this high vibe place, a place where people are gonna celebrate your wins. We're going to like cheer for you and we get what it takes to do this kind of work. It's validation, and validation is important. So if you feel like you need validation, you've been judging yourself for that, please don't. We're human beings. We need validation. And you can learn to give it to yourself, but it's really nice to have from peers and people who are doing similar kind of work, who understand what it takes to step into this kind of work and to challenge these old beliefs and then to come out on the other side and to show up and do the work. Do you see what I'm saying? And then also, when we're a shit show and like this thing popped up and it's kicking my motherfucking ass, I'm gonna teach you how to show up in a really empowered way, to like show up in a group energy that way, and to be able to actually work through that in a way where you don't feel like the asshole. Because I never wanna feel like, I think I described it to my tribe as I feel like a fat toddler that's like wobbling around and knocking everybody's shit over in a china shop. Like, I think that's what it felt like. I'm gonna teach you how to not be the bull in a china closet. I'm gonna teach you how to actually, in a really empowered way, let all of your shit and your ugly be seen and be loved on and supported, which I think is one of the most empowering things that you can learn when you're doing life in a tribe this way. If you have any kind of mentorship or tribes, and you learn to be equal with other people, you learn to let them be your equals. You're not always helping someone or getting helped. We're also gonna be equals with each other. Like, we're doing life together. This is the whole point, right? So it's gonna be 30 days of me dropping the most powerful shit. I spent hours sitting down and just really, I even sat down with my soon-to-be ex-husband and just went over like, hey, what do you remember I struggled with and I broke through, and what did you learn, and what were and I just literally like rehashed the whole entire journey. And I'm really excited because I'm gonna give you a small insight. I'm doing the same thing for entrepreneurs that are 6-figure plus. So there will be a part 2 to this that I'm really fucking excited about. However, that won't be at this crazy, ridiculous gift price. So that is my huge gift to you guys. I tried to make it as like anybody can join this, anybody can jump in. It's a high level program. I'm going to show up just like I would have if I was running this for the 3.5 grand, right? Like, and you get it for this crazy, ridiculous price, just because that is what I'm shifting into. That is what I want. And let's be honest, having that energy of those of a group of people who are doing this kind of work together is just a lot of fun. It's nice to have smaller groups where we're really like, you know, in depth with each other, but it's also a lot of fun to have a little bit bigger groups where we're vibing off each other and you have lots of people celebrating you and tracking with you, and we're making a lot of friendships and etc. So, and I also have a heap of surprise for you guys, obviously. But I decided I didn't want to tell you what they were because I just like the energy of surprising you. So that is my big surprise. It's mandyperry.com. I'm sorry this whole time I forgot to tell you. I should put that, I'm gonna edit that into the video right now. I think my team might have already dropped it, I'm not sure. It's mandyperry.com. I feel like I've up-leveled what this is going to be since I created it, because I've shifted and grown into so many things. However, it's still very relevant. I mean, the things I mentioned in the sales page are still very relevant to a lot of the things that are keeping people stuck from breaking through. And the intention of this group is at the end for you to truly understand and see very clearly how you can be happy, truly fucking happy, and wealth. Have true wealth in your life, and how you get to have both. And you'll know what your work is, and you'll have broke through a lot of the work, and you'll get a taste of what it feels like to break through the work. Maybe not all of it, but I'm not gonna leave you stranded. Whatever work you still have to do after the 30 days, because this is a lifelong fucking journey, you'll know exactly what that is. You'll be clear, and you'll be clear how to see what the work is next time around. So like, you know, you're with me and I'm teaching you how to have the clarity, and I'm bringing all this stuff up, but I'm going to teach you how to, like, you're gonna know the process of doing that. I do that on my own all the time, right? Like, I use my mentors for something very different. Not for processing this regular stuff. This is stuff that I know how to do, and I'm gonna teach you guys the process of doing that as well. So you know how to catch a motherfucking fish. Okay, I don't know if my team dropped it in or not, so I'm gonna, oh yeah. Susan dropped it in. I'm pinning it to the top for you guys. I am so excited to this group. We start March 11th, and then on March 11th, I'll also let you know what all your bonuses are. They're pretty epic. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I'm going to do my daughter's birthday party. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Please feel free to share this video. It's obviously a huge help for me when people share the video. If you feel like you got value from the video, share the video. If you're new to me, please say hi below so I can say hi back to you and I can learn your name and your face. And if you're in my tribe, just send me love because I love getting lots of love. All right, guys, I love you. I will see you in the group. Yeah, I'm just super excited. That is all. I'm just excited. I was like, I'm gonna start it early, and then I was like, no, we're gonna do March 11th. And then we actually bumped the date, and I wanted to move it back, but we're doing March 11th because I really want to push this one. Feel free to tag any friends below that you feel like would love this opportunity, this gift that I'm giving. Yeah, 100% Carolyn. Yeah, go ahead and just tag their name below, or share the link. You can hit the share button. And then you can copy, or if you just click on the video so it opens up in your browser, if you're on your computer, and then you can just copy and paste the browser, you can share it that way, or you can you can hit the little share arrow, that shares the video as well. My intention is to just reach people who need the support. I mean, you're not gonna find something like this. 30 days at this price it's pretty awesome. I'm not afraid to say that to you because I want everybody to get in here and get the support and help that's coming their way with this. Okay, I love you. Thank you so much. I'm off to celebrate with my daughter. I'll see you guys in there.